Welcome. In front of me is a TCL 10 SE, and today I will cover unboxing along with a brief overview of the device itself. So popping it open straight off the bat, now I'll mention the device already did set it up, so we don't have to go through that. So yeah. Now the box, nothing in here on the top part. Then we got a phone itself, so let me just undrop it out of the foil, set it to the side, and come back to it in a second. Then in here we got a casing for the phone, so I'm just gonna drop that over here. Then we got paperwork that no one really cares about. And then we got a charging cable. What is it? So it's Type A to Type C. Okay, so that's nice. And apart from that, we also got a charger. So that is, I believe, a 10 watt. Yep, that's a 10 watt charger, as you can see, hopefully right over here. It's nothing really special. And then also we get headphones. So as you can see, just some buds. Now they use the normal plug, the 3.5 millimeter one. That's because the phone itself has a headphone jack, as you can see right over here. So just leave the casing here, drop that back into the case and drop it straight to the side where it won't be annoying anybody. And from there, let's move to the phone itself. So unlocking it, you're presented with this fairly big 6.5 inch display at a semi-low resolution of 720 by 1600. Honestly, I don't really see pixelations at this distance. I bet if you start pixel peeping, you probably will, considering it is a fairly big display with just a HD resolution, and it puts it at 269 pixels per inch, so that is on like a bit of a lower side. And it also has a 83.3% screen to body ratio, so not the best, but still fairly good, honestly. The biggest bezel here is at the bottom, as you can see, so that thing is fairly big. But at the top, you would actually see where the top starts, but it basically begins right a little bit above the icons right here. And you do have a teardrop notch. Now if I actually open maybe something that is white, or if I disable maybe dark mode, oh there we go. So now I can see the notch on the top. So apart from that, it's just an LCD display, nothing really special about it. Then moving on to the internals, the device has a Helios P22. Also comes in only one variant, so 128 GB built-in storage and 4 GB of RAM, plus expandable storage via SD card. So that is also really nice. It has a 4000 mAh built-in battery, non-removable obviously, with a, as I mentioned before, 10 watt charger. And also when it comes down to camera setup, at the front in this notch we have a 8 megapixel wide sensor, and at the back, that was close, and at the back we have triple camera setup. We have a 48 megapixel wide, 5 megapixel ultra wide, and 2 megapixel depth. Now in reality you only have two sensors. That 2 megapixel depth sensor is not really used for anything, and honestly if you cover it up, tape it up, you won't see any difference in photos. And with that you can shoot at 1080p 30 frames, no 60 obviously here. So yeah. And also, as you can see at the back, we have a fingerprint sensor on this. I'm not exactly sure, it looks like a glass back, but I might be completely wrong, it could be plastic, although it does feel fairly nice. It has this semi-matte finish, so it's not necessarily smooth or glassy. It has a more of a matte finish, but fairly minimal, and it does look really nice with this reflection, as you can see as well. So it has this kind of like a darkish rainbowish reflect to it, or RGB. That's kind of, yeah. So it looks really nice at the back, and the front isn't also too bad either. Now the performance of the phone, as you can see, is nothing special here, but then at $170, somewhere around this price range, I wouldn't be expecting much. This is basically a budget device, and for a budget device, honestly, it fills every need that you probably would have. Thing that I really appreciate that they decided to add is NFC right here. As you can see, it's even enabled by default, so you will be able to pay with this phone. If you choose to go to the store and use this as your card, you are totally free to do so. And it even comes with a Google Pay installed on here. Now, as you can, nope, I didn't want you up. As you can also see, there's a couple different bloatwares installed on here. So we have Facebook, Next Vision. I think this is just this is built in for the quality of and control of colors and stuff like that. Optimize and some other support centers, file share, and some additional stuff. So let's see actually how much we can remove of this. So uninstall. So now this we can uninstall, file share. So it looks like we're free to uninstall most of this stuff, so that is actually nice. Primary, let's see if we can uninstall Facebook, because who wants that at 2020? And yes, we can. So bye bye Facebook, no more stacking here. So yeah, basically the specs of the device aren't anything impressive, but because the price tag is also super low, honestly, this device seems to run fine for the price that you pay, and I have really no problems with it. Now, we can do a quick photo test, I guess. Just drop a pen here. Now, I won't be expecting anything special here. I do understand that this is device marketed as a budget one, so expecting some super high quality photos here is just unreasonable. But we can just quickly capture a couple photos. Let's go to an ultra wide as well. So there's the two photos. And honestly, the sharpness of it and resolution, I mean, this is actually a 48 megapixel sensor, so the resolution here should be fairly decent. As you can see, it actually did a really good job in capturing the photo, considering it does capture basically everything that is written on here. So I can't complain about that. Obviously, it will probably struggle in terms of some kind of weird lighting conditions. And that is most likely something that you will experience just throughout using it. But in just sharpness, quality, it looks okay. This is not very well lit room, I would also add. So it might look a little bit weird on the photo, but honestly, I'm satisfied with this photo. If I would be paying $170 and capturing these photos, I'm okay with it. Then also there was the ultra wide, and now this kind of falls off, as you can see. So this is a completely different sensor that has a 5 megapixel instead of 48, and you can clearly see the difference in quality right here. So you can barely read out some stuff. So I can see 0.7, I think, ball, but again, going back to this one, yeah, you can read everything clearly on here. So the ultra wide, I would probably not use it at all. It seems to just do a poor job. So yeah. Now when it comes down to zoom, because it apparently does have a 4x zoom, again, it does seem to do a good job at zooming in and keeping the quality, as you can see, although I did see some sharpening here, so it does use some kind of artificial optimization for the photo, but still, anyway, this is way better than I would actually expect for a $170 device. So thumbs up for at least the back camera, at least the 48 megapixel one. I assume that the depth camera has nothing to do with it. Covering it might be a little bit hard, considering it's right in the middle, so I'll be kind of covering other sensors. Let me quickly check though. So I am right now at the main one, which seems to be the side. So let me quickly wipe it and cover the two other sensors, I guess, right there. So clearly you can see I'm covering them without actually moving my finger. I'm covering, and let's just see which point am I gonna... Okay, now I'm starting to get on the camera, so that is good enough. Okay, so let's compare this. Let's actually try that again. Oh, that's the problem. It's actually catching focus on the screen instead of the pen. So let's fix that up. And there we go. Yep. So with it covered, as you can see, there's still no difference in it. The quality still retains. So yeah, and that was covered and smudged up as well. So keep that in mind. Like I said, the 2 megapixel depth sensor does literally nothing for the camera, and the 5 megapixel ultra wide honestly is also garbage, so I wouldn't really use it, considering it loses way too much quality to be worth using it at all. So in reality, you kind of get a front sensor and signal sensor on the back, and using the other ones, I would strongly not really suggest using those. They're just bad. Now also, you can quickly look at the front selfie. So make it a little bit more annoying for the camera. So this is in a fairly decently lit conditions. As you can see, it does some facial smoothing a little bit, but honestly I'm not complaining. And for instance, the grain of the microphone, this pop filter, whatever you want to call it, it did capture each individual hair fairly well. As you can see, if you start zooming, you start getting grain, but on this kind of zoom and lighting conditions, this is acceptable. And what is kind of weird is this green light right here. There is nothing like that here. I'm not exactly sure what it captured. I'm not sure what that is actually. So it looks like the light just bounces off of the sensor and causes some problem. As you can see, there is this weird lighting effect right here. If I cover it up, it looks okay actually. So again, it came out better, although it looks mediocre, I would say. So the front selfie camera is okay. It's mediocre. It has some kind of weird problem, which I haven't seen on any other device, where the light just causes some kind of weird aberration in the photos. But oh well. I guess, like I said, some costs had to be cut here, so that's probably one of them. So yeah, but other than that, for $170, this is a fairly decent device, and I would say I would probably recommend you to get a better device than this. For instance, their TCL 10 Plus seems to be a better choice in my opinion. I would prefer to add about $130 more, which it's close to basically double the price, and have just a better device in general with more features, at least more features that I'm looking for. And just as a comparison and appearance wise, because I don't have it next to me right now, this is the box, so kind of how the phone looks like. It's a curved display here with a little bit better camera setup, under display fingerprint sensor, and just a bit better looking design, bigger battery, better processor. So that's kind of what I would be going for, if my opinion matters here. But if you're looking for something cheap at this price range, I would have to say it's a decent device here. And that being said, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.